Okay, so we're diving into Saboteur,
Yeah.
Hitchcock's 1942 film.
Yeah.
And you know what strikes me is it's 1942. World War II is raging.
Crazy time.
And Hitchcock,
Yeah.
this is his first all-American film.
It is.
Like, he's just arrived from England.
Brand new world for him.
And, he's thrown into this
Absolutely.
situation where the country's on edge.
Totally.
I mean, Pearl Harbor has just happened.
Just months before.
And
That whole new level of anxiety.
yeah, and you can feel that
Oh, absolutely.
in the film.
You can feel it in the air.
We were talking about,
Yeah.
the whole kind of like background research on this.
Well,
We've got articles.
They've got articles.
Yeah.
We've got reviews from the time. Yeah, behind the scenes stuff.
And there's this,
It's a gold mine.
it really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one of the things that we see again and again with Hitchcock is
Oh, yeah.
this theme of the wrong man.
Right.
And how does that
Oh, it's huge in this one.
how does that play into this
What
this
I mean-
film in particular?
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Wartime,
Yeah.
suspicion,
Mm-hmm.
paranoia.
Mm,
Anyone could be the enemy.
exactly.
And that's Barry Kane,
Okay.
our protagonist. He
Mhm.
becomes the embodiment of that.
So
He is
sort of
accused,
wrongly accused.
wrongly accused,
Yeah.
trying to clear his name.
While the real threat's out there.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's classic Hitchcock.
It really is.
Yeah.
Playing with our fears.
Oh, absolutely.
And he doesn't give us a break either.
No, he does not.
The guy is
On the run.
on the run
Across America.
across America.
Yeah, deserts, cities,
We even see that.
music hall.
Yeah, that iconic music hall.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And each location adds another layer.
Each one adds another layer to the story.
Because we're not just talking about,
It's not just a simple chase.
no,
No, it's a microcosm
of America
of America
in this time.
grappling with its identity.
Wow.
Global chaos.
Yeah.
I mean, the vastness of the landscape.
Like the landscape itself is
Yeah.
character.
It is a character reflecting the fear,
The uncertainty.
the uncertainty of the time.
And I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of that kind of visual storytelling,
Yeah.
the climax of the film.
Like a Statue of Liberty.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
Talk about
an emotional punch.
using a location.
Using a location to its fullest.
to pack a punch.
It's pure genius.
It is.
The Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
It's not just a backdrop.
All right.
It's a symbol
Right.
of freedom
Of democracy.
under attack. The saboteurs, they want to destroy it.
And the way Hitchcock stages it, the
The
shadows,
it.
the angle.
It's masterful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So break that down for me a little bit.
Okay.
What is he doing with the visuals there?
All right. So you've got the Statue of Liberty, right?
Yeah.
This beacon of hope.
Mm-hmm.
But our hero
Yeah.
is in a precarious position.
Like physically
Physically clinging to the edge.
hanging on to freedom.
Literally,
Literally by a thread.
it's like you said.
Right.
The whole nation is holding its breath.
Yeah.
And you feel that
You feel it.
in that scene.
You feel it in your gut.
But some critics said that it felt like
Yeah.
too much.
Like he was juggling too many ideas.
Too much going on.
Too much going on.
Which is interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Because you've got the espionage.
You've got the espionage. You've got the chase across the country.
Uh-huh.
There's social commentary in there.
There is.
A little touch of romance even.
And those circus performers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was classic Hitchcock.
Yeah, throwing in
A little bit of
a little absurdity, a little
Yeah.
dark humor.
to keep us on our toes.
Exactly. You never know what is going to throw at you next.
And I think that's what makes these films
So absolutely.
so
And you
rewatchable.
pick up on something new every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even with all of that,
With all the twists and turns.
the core message
Yeah.
is
What is it?
the fragility of trust.
Crust.
In a world that's on edge,
And especially.
especially when the enemy could be anyone.
Right. Because this
This is 1942.
where.
The fear of spies
Yeah.
is very real.
It makes you wonder.
It really does make you wonder.
How much of this is entertainment?
How much of this is
And how much is
reflected?
like those anxieties?
Yeah.
Like we're watching this thriller,
Right.
but in the back of our mind.
There's this awareness.
Right.
We know the
Yeah,
context
the historical context
of what was going on.
It's powerful.
It's really powerful.
Art doesn't exist in a vacuum.
It's a product of its time.
Exactly.
Right.
Shaped by the fears,
Yeah.
the hopes,
The
the
anxieties.
anxieties of the people who made it
And those who
and those who experienced it.
experienced it.
Yeah.
And speaking of experiences,
Okay.
this film
Yeah,
takes us on a journey.
it does.
Not just a cross-country chase,
No.
but it's like this snapshot.
Oh, I like that.
A snapshot.
The 1940s.
1940s America.
Warts and all.
Warts and all. You see the glamour of Hollywood, the grit, and within that, we see this nation.
A nation divided day.
Even as they're facing a common enemy.
Yeah. It's like
And the landscape becomes a microcosm.
Becomes this microcosm.
Of this conflict. This larger concept.
Reflecting the beauty.
The beauty. The ugliness.
The hope.
The hope.
That fear.
That defined that era.
Absolutely.
And it's within that landscape that Barry Kane
has to navigate.
Not just clearing his name. But confronting his own ideas about guilt innocence, because
in a world
would anyone could be the enemy.
Anyone who can you trust?
Who can you trust? That's it.
Yeah.
That's the question.
It's at the heart of it.
At the very heart of Hitchcock's work.
Yeah.
He loves
to
exploit our uncertainty.
Make us question.
Make us question the character.
Ourselves.
Our own instincts.
Because it's like he's
our judgments
holding up this mirror to society.
Absolutely.
And we're forced to see
the darker side.
The darker side.
Of human nature.
That's who we are.
Especially in times of crisis.
When things get
tough.
Difficult.
When fear takes over.
Yeah.
Right.
And one of the ways he does this so well.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
mistaken identity. It's a classic.
The wrong man idea.
Oh, classic. Hitchcock.
Yeah.
And Saboteur.
Like we were saying.
Prime example. This fear of being falsely accused.
Your life just turned upside down.
Forces beyond your control.
And it's not just those external forces that Barry's up against.
He's also battling.
He's got to figure out
his
own demons.
His own demons, right? His own ideas about
preconceived
guilt and innocence, who to trust.
And one of the scenes that I think really
tell me about it.
Highlights this. Is when Barry ends up at Blind Man's house.
Or The Blind Man.
Talk about
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Talk about an inversion of expectations.
Right.
We think of blindness, lack of sight. But he sees Barry's innocence.
Yes.
More clearly than anyone else.
Than anyone else who can physically see.
It's amazing.
It's really.
Isn't it?
It's like this reminder that truth isn't
black and white.
Black and white. And sometimes
it's those we least expect who really see us.
Who can really see
us clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that search for understanding.
It is.
That search for someone who believes.
Absolutely.
That leads him to Patricia. And their relationship adds another
whole other layer to this film.
It's classic Hitchcock, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
This pairing.
Two characters
thrown together
by circumstance.
Yeah.
They need each other to survive.
They have to rely on each other, but they've got their own
suspicions, vulnerabilities, baggage.
And all of this is happening. Against this backdrop of national
paranoia. Suspicion.
It's a trust.
It's like your love story.
It's like their love story.
Becomes a microcosm.
Becomes this reflection.
The larger
happening.
Struggle for trust. Understand.
And just as they're on this
literal journey.
Literally crisscrossing the country.
They're also on
They're on an emotional journey. Absolutely.
And they have to.
And they have to confront their own prejudices
and
recognize the humanity in each other.
Even when
the world around them, when it seems like
losing sight of its own.
The world is falling apart.
Exactly.
And I think one of the things that really struck me about this film
What's that?
Is how Hitchcock uses the location footage to immerse us.
He was a master of that.
In that world.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about realism.
No.
It's about
connecting us to the emotional landscape. Of a nation at war. Think about it. When you're running through the streets of New York City, you feel the pulse of the city.
Yeah.
You feel that anxiety.
The anxiety.
And then he's in the desert.
The vastness of the desert.
The isolation.
You feel utterly alone. Like the world is against you. It's like Hitchcock's not just...
He's not showing us America. He's making us
feel it.
Feel it.
The grandeur.
The grandeur.
The diversity.
The fear.
Oh, the fear.
Resilience.
It's all there. All these elements.
Yeah.
Creating this immersive cinematic experience.
And within that, we get this theme.
And within that
he comes back to again and again.
Which is
the fear of the enemy within.
The enemy within.
And I think...
Norman Lloyd.
Yeah.
As Fry. The Saboteur.
He's terrifying.
Oh!
He is terrifying.
Because...
he's so unassuming.
He's so normal.
That's what's scary.
You would never suspect.
You would never suspect him?
That he's the one.
He's the one behind it all.
Behind it all.
Pulling the strings.
It's like this reminder.
Orchestrating the chaos from the shadows.
Evil doesn't always...
look evil.
Evil doesn't always wear a mask.
Yeah.
Sometimes it hides in plain sight.
Hidden in plain sight.
It blends in.
Just like Fry.
Like Fry.
Yeah.
Just another face in the crowd.
And that's what makes this film.
And that's what makes it
so effective.
So terrifying because it's that primal fear.
Yeah.
Of the unknown.
Anyone could be...
dangerous.
The danger...
you just don't.
Could be lurking anywhere.
And it makes you think.
It makes you question everyone.
Who can you trust?
Exactly.
And sometimes
the
people you think you can trust.
The people you think you can trust
are the ones you should fear the most.
Are the ones you should fear the most.
It's a scary thought.
Right.
But it's something that Hitchcock...
it's a scary thought.
Doesn't shy away from.
No, he doesn't. He pushes it.
Pushes it.
To the limit.
To the limit.
In this film.
It makes you question.
Right to the very end.
Everything and everyone.
Everything and everyone.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder.
You touched on it before.
About what?
About the idea of this film as
propaganda.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
Is this
straightforward?
Is it just entertainment?
Entertainment.
What is there something more?
Is there a message? A deeper message.
On the surface.
On the surface.
Yeah.
You've got good guys, bad guys.
Bad guys.
Bad Kane.
America. The Saboteurs.
The threat to America.
Great.
The timing of its release.
So soon after.
Right after Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Could say.
Makes you think.
It's an attempt to.
It was meant to.
Rally support for the war.
Yeah.
Reinforce this idea of a united front.
Yeah.
Against a common enemy.
But it's not.
It's not that simple, is it?
That simple because.
Because Hitchcock also.
Hitchcock's not afraid.
Critiques aspects of American society.
Aspects of American society.
He's showing us.
He's showing.
The danger.
And paranoia.
Prejudice.
Blind faith.
Blind faith. Yeah. And authority.
Like that scene where Barry's.
Tell me about it.
Captured by the vigilantes.
The vigilantes.
These are
ordinary citizens swept up in fear and suspicion.
Yeah.
They become
the
very thing
they're afraid of.
They're supposed to be
fighting against
a mob, condemning a man
without a trial,
without a fair trial,
without any evidence,
fueled by
fear and prejudice.
And that message
resonates
today. It resonates today.
Right.
More than ever.
So is Saboteur propaganda?
Is it propaganda or is it a cautionary tale?
A cautionary tale
about threats
to freedom.
A freedom
that exists within a
democracy.
Democracy.
Because we see
what are the real threats.
What happens when we surrender?
Surrendering to fear.
To fear.
Silencing dissent.
Yeah.
Letting
pressure
out our judgment.
Out our actions.
It's a thought-provoking interpretation. And it makes you
think about the film.
Adds another layer.
In a whole other way.
Of depth.
To this already
complex film.
The ending of Saboteur.
The ending, it's both.
It's classic Hitchcock.
Thrilling.
Ambiguous.
Leaves us
with more questions.
More questions than answers. That
image. Fry clinging to the torch of the Statue of Liberty.
To the Statue of Liberty.
Is grip loosening.
As Barry's trying to
save him.
To pull him up.
Pull him to safety.
It's burned into my mind.
It's seared.
It's one of those.
Into cinematic history.
Images that you just.
Right.
You don't forget.
You don't forget it. But what does it mean?
What does it mean?
Right.
Is it a triumph?
Is it a triumph?
Of good over evil.
Of good over evil.
Is it a tragedy?
A tragic reminder?
Of the human cost.
Of the human cost of conflict?
Of conflict.
Or is it something else?
Or is it
something else entirely?
Yeah.
That line?
Between
heroism and villainy. How close those two things really are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, that's the thing with Hitchcock.
I mean,
He doesn't give us the answers.
Leave us.
He doesn't tie everything up
in a neat little bow. Lingering questions.
He leaves us with questions
that we keep coming back to.
He wants us to think. He wants us to feel.
Reinterpreting.
He wants us to question.
As we go through life.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
And the world around us.
And I think that's what makes a film like this.
So rewarding.
It's so rewarding.
To rewatch.
Because
it's not just entertainment.
Right. It's an invitation. To engage.
In a dialogue with ourselves, with the material, with the world.
And to really look at.
To confront
those uncomfortable truths.
Those uncomfortable truths.
Yeah, we don't always want to.
That we often try to avoid.
And when we do that.
And within that dialogue.
Yeah.
We might just find.
We might learn something.
We might discover something new.
About ourselves.
About ourselves.
About the world.
About the world around us.
And about
the power of stories.
The power of stories.
The power of stories to illuminate.
Yeah.
To challenge. To inspire.
To inspire.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
What else can you ask for?
Speaking of the power of stories,
yeah.
Hitchcock.
He's
weaving together.
He was a master
at weaving
together those big ideas.
With these incredibly
tense,
suspenseful moments.
Yeah.
Like, we can't overlook
it's incredible.
Craftsmanship.
The craftsmanship is incredible.
The technique.
Because
Hitchcock was...
he was a master technician.
A master.
Saboteur
His clinic.
Is a clinic.
Is a masterclass.
In suspense filmmaking.
In how to do it.
How to make a suspense film.
Exactly. Think about it. Some of
the sequences.
Iconic sequences.
Like when he escapes.
The factory escape.
From the factory.
Oh my gosh.
And climb.
Up the Statue of Liberty.
Up the Statue of Liberty.
I mean.
Those are images that.
They stay with you.
Just stay with you.
They stay with you forever.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And it's not just...
And you know what it is?
The action.
It's not just the action.
It's
how he films it.
He films it.
Those camera angles.
The camera angles.
The way he uses...
Light
and shadow.
Light and shadow.
To create this unease.
This feeling of...
Even when nothing's happening.
Unease.
It's brilliant.
Like you were saying.
It's pure Hitchcock.
He knows how to... Pure Hitchcock.
Just get under your skin.
Make
you feel like
you're right there.
You're right there.
In the thick of it.
I read this article.
Oh, yeah.
That mentioned that he originally wanted the climax to be at Radio City Music Hall.
Radio City Music Hall.
Can you imagine? A packed theater.
A packed theater.
The lights go out.
And suddenly...
Our hero
is fighting for his life.
The middle...
Amidst a sea of unsuspecting theater goers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But even though they didn't go with that idea...
Yeah.
Ending it...
What I think
at the Statue of Liberty.
At the Statue of Liberty.
That was a stroke of genius.
Because it adds
so much symbolism.
Another layer of symbolism.
Doesn't it?
The Statue of Liberty.
It's not just
a backdrop anymore.
A backdrop.
It becomes a symbol of everything.
Everything that's at stake.
Freedom.
Democracy.
The very soul of America.
And the way
Fry is holding on. To that torch. His grip slipping. Barry's trying to pull him up.
It's like he's clinging. To the last vestiges. Of his humanity.
Of the
connection to those ideals.
that the statue
represents. And yet he falls. It's tragic. But it's also...
It's a reminder.
The reminder that even
a world...
On the brink... Justice
can prevail.
But
it's not
a clean victory.
There's
a cost. A sense of loss. That lingers. Long after the credits roll.
And that's Hitchcock. Right there.
Isn't it? He doesn't
give you. He doesn't give you all the answers. He doesn't tie it up.
He doesn't tie it up in a bow.
In a nice little bow.
He leaves us.
He wants us to.
With these questions.
Lasting.
These lingering questions that we keep coming back to.
And I think that's what makes his ending so powerful.
Yeah. So haunting. So thought-provoking.
They stay with you. Yeah.
He leaves us.
You walk out of the theater.
With a sense of unease.
And you're still thinking about it.
Right.
And I think
that's the point.
That's his goal.
That's his goal.
Right. He doesn't want to give us...
He doesn't want to give us the answers.
The easy answers.
The easy answers.
The simplistic resolutions.
He wants us to think.
He wants us to feel.
He wants us to feel.
He wants us to question.
Ourselves.
The world.
The world around us.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day...
Saboteur.
Saboteur. It's not just
it's just a film
about espionage or sabotage. It's about the human condition.
The human condition.
It's about us.
It's about us.
It's about our capacity.
Our capacity for
both.
Good.
Good and evil.
About the choices we make.
The choices that we make.
When we're faced.
When we're afraid.
With fear and uncertainty.
Yeah.
And the power of hope.
Even when things are...
Even the darkest.
Really dark.
Right.
And that's what's so amazing is that this film...
And it's amazing to me...
made
over 80 years ago.
Made over 80 years ago. Can still
speaks to
resonate so deeply with us today.
Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it
speaks to those universal, the timelessness of Hitchcock's themes.
That Hitchcock
was able to tap
into something universal.
About the human experience, about what it means.
Primal fear of the unknown.
The unknown, the fact that...
The struggle.
We have to
hold on to our humanity.
In the face of chaos.
And that need.
And to never give up.
To fight
for what we believe in. Even when
it feels like
it seems like
there's no hope.
All hope is lost.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
It is powerful.
And as we
resurface in this deep dive into Saboteur, I hope those themes
stay with us. Right.
That they challenge us.
I hope they challenge us
to be more critical. Host speaker.
To think for ourselves.
To ask those tough questions.
Yeah.
And to never
ever
take our freedoms for granted. Yeah. Well said.
Well.
And on that note,
all right,
we're going to bring this deep dive to a close.
A deep dive into Saboteur. It's been a pleasure.
The conversation doesn't end here.
It never does.
Keep exploring. Keep questioning.
Keep diving deeper.
And keep diving deeper into those stories
that shape
our world.
Well said.
Until next time.
See you later.